Hello viewers, hope you all had a great weekend. Today the function that I'll be talking about, that is Vlookup, I'm sure it's going to ease out a lot of work for you all in the coming week. I'll explain it using the example that you can all see on the screen, wherein I have a couple of details regarding certain students with regards to their names, their roll numbers, marks and whether they have passed or failed. And here towards the right hand side, what I have two roll numbers for which I need to find the further details. Now, where do we use Vlookup? Vlookup is used when I want to vertically look up a data within a particular database. Which means, since I want to find the student name of this particular roll number mentioned in this cell I7, and from where do I need to find it? I want to find it from this table highlighted over here, right? And the data here is mentioned vertically. What I mean vertically, each of the header over here is mentioned in each of the different column, which is a different vertical in itself, right? So that's why we'll be looking up for this particular roll number, which is an I7, in this table, and we look for the column student name and get the result for it. This is how a Vlookup works. But first thing that we'll need to change here, this is my lookup value, right? This is what I'll be looking up for in my main table, or the table which has all the data, which is this one, right? I need to ensure that the column that contains these lookup values in my main table, this column always has to be the first column, which means I'll need to cut this column and bring it here in order to make it the first column, because our Vlookup can only do one-sided calculations, which means it can find the results for marks, pass and fail, but will not be able to find the student name in case this column remains to be here. So let me do one thing, let me just cut this, bring this here, and let me delete this blank row over here, right? Now I have my data over here, and let me start with writing the Vlookup function. It says is equal to Vlookup, and I open my parenthesis. The first thing here you see is the lookup value, which is what do I really need to find? I need to find details for this roll number, so I'll select this particular cell over here. Now, what is my table array? Table array is the main table wherein I need to find these details. So that is this particular table, and as I've already explained and mentioned earlier, that this table should be selected from where my lookup value column starts. Here in this case, we moved our roll number column, which was initially the second column, and made it the first column. Now, the third thing here it's talking to me about is the column index number. This is the column number of what we need to find. So here in this particular case, since I want to find the student name, I will talk, okay, in this main table, starting from this first column from where I have selected my table, what is the position of student name as a column header? So it will be 2, and how is it going to be 2? Because my roll number is the first column, my student name becomes the second column. Similarly, had I needed to find this for marks, okay, what are the marks obtained for this particular roll number? It would have been column number 3, and for pass and fail it will be column number 4, right? So now I have this written, let me put in a comma, and now this is a range lookup. This says whether I want to find the exact match or approximate match. I will need to find my exact match because I am looking in data for this exact roll number and I want to see the exact student name over here. I don't want to see the nearby result, right? So that's why I'll put in a 0. Instead of 0, I could have also written in a false. And I can select it from here also. You can see you have a true which says approximate match and a false which says exact match. So I'm picking a false. I close my parenthesis and hit enter. So I get to know this is Brad. And let's see 0082 over here. And here we have, and this is absolutely correct answer. Now, let me explain you one thing over here. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to be fixing the right things over here, which means I'm going to be fixing certain rows and columns so that when I move this formula or drag this formula towards the right or a row down, I don't have to really change major things in my formula. Let's see what I mean by that. Now I know that my lookup value in any case, even when I have to find the marks or the pass fail status or for the second roll number, it is going to be in my column H only, right? Both these details are mentioned in column H, so I can go ahead and fix my column H, which means I can put in a dollar sign over here. Now, do I need to fix 7? No, I can't fix 7 because though I want this formula to be applied to column H, but I wanted to first check for row number 7 and then go ahead and check for row number 8 also, because I'll be dragging the same formula down, right? So I won't fix 7. Moving on to my table. Now table's position is not going to change no matter if I move right or I move down, which means I can completely fix my table. So I'll go ahead and select this and press F4 key. When you press the F4 key, you'll see your row as well as column of the entire tables are fixed over here. What I mean by fix is you get a dollar sign before your row and the column label. Now the 2 is obviously a number, I don't need to fix it, and then false. Let's hit enter. Your answers haven't changed, they need to be as is. Now I can just copy this formula and paste it across the table, right? Okay, so I'm getting my, now what I'm getting here is for column 2 only. I need to go ahead and see, okay, in which column is marks written. Marks here, if you can see, is written in column number 3. Let me write it over here. This is my column number 1 because my table selection started from here. This is column 2, this is column 3, and this is column 4. Now, let me go ahead to my marks and go ahead and change this to column 3. Similarly, I can go ahead and change this to column 3. Now this obviously my pass and figure status is in column 4, and let me go ahead and write 4. Now for Brad, we can see this is the exact same thing that's visible over here, right? And for Mike, this is the exact thing which is visible over here. So this data set that you're seeing on the screen is quite small, and you may feel, why do I really need to write such a complex formula? But trust me, when you're dealing with millions and thousands of rows and columns, this formula can really save your life. It can help you in saving a lot of time, and once you start writing in this formula, it's really not going to be that difficult. Trust me. Do give it a try. I'll be coming up with other, difficulty levels or complexity levels of this particular formula. This can be used in a lot of variations, and in my upcoming videos, I'll be talking more about it. Hope you like this all, and do reach out to me if you face any challenges. My email address is msexcel.freak@gmail.com. Have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.